All right, guys. We're going to talk about mean, median, and mode today. Um, and just to start off, and same thing, I'm going to have you pause and try some questions. Try it out, ask questions, make sure you know how to do it. We'll do it by hand, but we're also going to emphasize how to do it with the calculator. And I've attached to the unit plan a quick link of how to do it on the TI-84 and the TI-Nspire, but I'll also talk about it and show it on this video here. So first thing, try these two questions. What is the average of these two numbers, 12 and 16, and what are the average of 12 and 15? Try that out. Pause right now. All right, hopefully you tried it out. If I average the 12 and the 16, whoops, that's the same as 12 plus 16 divided by 2, okay? Which is 28 divided by 2. 14 is the average of that. That's the middle if I average those up. If I take 12 plus 15 and divide it by 2, I end up with 27 divided by 2. I get 13.5. Okay? This will make a little more sense because what we're doing is we're doing a big average. Now, definitions. First time, anytime I say mean, I am actually saying it's the average. The average, but it can be the average of multiple numbers instead of just two of them. So average of all the numbers. And the way you actually solve is you add them all up and divide by the total amount. Okay, you'll be able to try that in the next slide. Add them all up, try and divide by the total amount. Median is the middle value of all the numbers. And in the brackets, I tell you how to put it. So you put them in order from smallest to biggest, and then go to the middle number, middle term. If there's an even amount of numbers, so there's 6 on one side, 6 on the other, then you have to average the two middle terms. The mode just happens to be the number that happens the most. Here's the key part with mode. You can only have 2 of them at the most. If there's more than 2, then there's no mode. So if there's more than 2 numbers that happen the most times, there's no mode. But if there's 2 of them, then it works. Okay? So trying this out, and I'll talk through this one. And we'll use a calculator on this. So the first one is if I want to do the mean, I want to take 1 plus 4 plus 10 plus 8 plus 8 plus 3 plus 5. Doesn't matter on the order on that one. Add those up. What is that? 31, 34, 39. Let me just double check. 15, 23, 31, 34, 39. 39, if I add them all up. Divided by the total amount of terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Divided by 7. And this should end up equaling, and you can do this in a calculator. I just didn't want to walk all the way over there to get a calculator. We're going to end up with a repeating number. Okay? 5.57. That's my mean. Median, I have to put it in order. So the first number is a 1. Then I have a 3. Then I have a 4. Then I have a 5. Then I have an 8. Then I have an 8. And I have a 10. Then I got to figure out the middle number. Well, if there's 7 numbers, then the fourth one is in the middle because there's 3 on this side, there's 3 on that side. So the median is 5. And the number that happens the most, well, it's 8. Happens once, twice, nothing else happens twice. Okay? So, you try. Try with these numbers, pause when you get a chance, and then we'll go through the answers. Pause now. All right. Hopefully you've tried this out with the mean. Should have been 12 plus 13 plus 13 plus 12 plus 7 plus 8 plus 14 plus 18. All divided by, well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. You could have used a calculator on this one, but you should have gotten, let's see. Oh, I think I'm looking at the wrong. 12.125. Okay? Median, I made a little bit trickier because if I do the smallest one, 7, 8, and then I have a 12, and then a 12, and then a 13, and then a 13, and then a 14, and an 18. There's an even amount of numbers. So there's 4 here and 4 here. So I have to average those numbers I get 12.5. Mode, got a 13, a 13, a 12, and a 12. Well, I got two sets of it, so the mode is 12 and 13. All right. With your calculator, we're going to do the same problem, and I'm going to do it on the 84. The Inspire, I would pause and take a look at the Inspire one right now, but I just want to show you on the 84 so it's on the notes. Bring up the calculator. Okay. And then here's what we end up doing. You can follow along. Hit Stat. The first thing it has is Edit. Hit Enter. If you have a list, and you'll have this, if I go to the top and highlight L1, if I hit Clear and push down, clears the whole list. Okay? Then I put the numbers in. Doesn't have to be in order. I got 12. Enter. 13. Enter. Enter. 12. Enter. 7. Enter. 8. Enter. 14. And like I said, I have just this directions linked on the unit plan. Once I have the list done, I hit Stat. I go to Calculate. I don't go to Edit this time. I go to Calculate, C-A-L-C. First one says one variable stats. I hit Enter. I want to use list 1 because that's where I put everything. Don't worry about the frequency list right now. Calculate. And here's the key part with the calculator. This is your symbol for mean. This is the average. So the average is 12.125. We'll get to this other information later or in the coming years. If I scroll down, I push down on this one, you see median, 12.5. Well, that's what we got here, 12.125, 12.5. Mode, you still just have to look. You have to see what number happens the most time. No calculator button to do that. Okay? So, pause now and see if you can try this one with your calculator. Hopefully you're using your calculator right now. All right. If you did this one correctly, then you should have gotten the mean at 12.4. The median is at 13. And if I look at the numbers, I have two 12s. I have two 14s, and I have two 16s. Well, that's three different numbers that happen the most. So my mode is none. I have no mode. Okay? At the most I can have is 3. All right. Hopefully this makes sense. Ask questions if you have any. Feel free to use the calculator on it. Homework is IXL KK.2. Bye.